Most golfers trying to break 90 or 100 are practicing completely wrong, and I didn't realize it until I started using the Rapsodo MLM2Pro. What it showed me about my game honestly surprised me, and it might explain exactly why you're stuck too. In a minute, I'll show you the one number that's probably killing your scores. If you're shooting in the 90s or low 100s, you probably feel like your swing isn't that bad, but somehow your score just never drops. You could go to the range and hit constantly, but it never seems to change. That was me. And the problem wasn't what I thought it was. It wasn't my swing. When I started using the Rapsodo MLM2Pro, I expected to see swing flaws. And I did, because it's got cameras built in, but there was more. What I actually started to see was way more important. It was more than just my swing issues or my contact issues. These numbers right here are what's keeping most golfers in the 90s and 100s. And this next part is where it really gets interesting. But first, if you want to get your own launch monitor, check out playbetter.com/golfreboot. They have the Rapsodo. They have tons of different things. You can build your own sim right from their website. So here's an interesting one. I thought I hit my 7-iron 150 yards all the time, and today I am. I'm generally 145 to 155 yards with a 7-iron, depending on the day. But when I first started working on things, it turns out I was anywhere from 135 to 160. That's a 25-yard gap. That means if I'm hitting from 150 out, I could end up off the green short or off the green and long. That's not good. That makes it hard to plan. It makes it hard to trust the club. That means I'm guessing on almost every shot, and that is not a good way to score better. And when I realized this, it completely changed how I practice. It finally clicked for me. Most golfers think they need a better swing to break 90. But what you really need is predictable distances. This is what breaking 90 actually looks like. Having a consistent carry distance with all your clubs will help you. I generally have about a 10-yard gapping between my irons. That lets me know every 10 yards what club I should be picking. I know with irons I tend to have a slight draw. That means the ball will land and roll out a bit further due to its spin. On top of that, I noticed that side-to-side carry is just as important. Knowing where the ball will fly to and which side of the fairway it'll move towards. It's stuff you need to know. If you're going 20 yards right and 30 yards left with an iron, you never know where it's going to land because that's a 50-yard span. Add that to your 25-yard gap that it could land in, and you've got a 1,250 square yard or 11,250 square foot area that you might land. Bring that down to 20 yards by 15 yards, and you're down to 300 square yards or 2,700 square feet. That will give you much better odds. And this next mistake might be the biggest one. Before this, my practice looked like this. Hit a ball. No target, no feedback. Repeat until I decide to change clubs randomly or run out of balls. That's not practice. That's just hitting balls. How many of you just show up at the range and hit? Let me guess. Driver, right? How often do you hit a 9-iron or wedges? You need to learn to hit everything. Have a plan going in and focus on that. If you don't plan, you'll never really know what is working and what isn't. Here's what I started doing instead. If you're trying to practice better and you need some guidance for it, we have a free practice guide. Just comment free guide down below. We'll send you the link. It's completely free and it's how I practice too. If you want to break 90, this is what I do. Pick one club. Honestly, I would say 99% of the time, the first club out of my bag is the 7-iron right here. I generally stretch out with the driver because the shaft's longer for the way that I loosen up, but once it's time to hit, I lock in with my trusty 7. I'll normally hit 10 to warm up, and then the fun begins. My Rapsodo MLM2Pro turns on, and away we go. I track carry distance. If I'm hitting the 7-iron 125, it tells me I'm not compressing. If I'm around 145 to 155, I know my swing is pretty well set. I'll hit another 5 to 10 and then start looking at the numbers, making sure my speeds, carry, and all that's where it should be. Then we check the side to side. We watch the dispersion. This is huge and people don't give it enough attention. If you're left side and right side of the fairway, it's telling you something. First, if there's a different ball path as it's flying, that means it's likely your swing path or the club face or both. If the ball basically goes straight but off in one of the directions, that means most likely you aren't aiming where you think. Or it could be swing and club again. It depends, but sometimes if you match them certain ways, that is possible. Now we adjust. Now this is where the MLM2Pro shines for me. Once I get to here, I'll go back and look at some of my swing videos and impact videos.
All right, so here's a shot with my Rapsodo MLM2Pro. You can see my regular shot right there. It's going to show you all of the data, which you can get that on our cloud as well. Now here's impact vision. I was a little bit off with the camera on this, but you can see pretty good contact. The ball flight was pretty good, and then that'll show you the data as well.
The dispersion and carry distances are the effect. The videos show me the cause. I've gotten to the point where I can gauge what I'm doing, and the videos normally confirm that. From there, I can tweak and adjust to slowly fix things. These numbers and data can change your game. And the last step is what actually saves strokes on the course. Once you know your real distances, you'll stop guessing out on the course. You'll know for any distance, depending on conditions, what you need to do. Instead of, I think it's a 7-iron, it'll be, I know it's a smooth 7. You can even do this with your driver in woods, with your wedges, whatever. If you can fully club gap your bag and know the dangers side to side from dispersion, you can much better plan out your game and be ready to go. I never really believed it when I played in high school, but looking back, I wish I did, because these are the things you need to know. That's how you go from 95 to 89. That's how you go from 100 to 99. It takes time. You'll hit plateaus, but if you follow along and start working smarter and playing courses smarter, it will happen. But you need to put in the work.
Here's another shot from my MLM2Pro. This is with my 4-iron. You can see pretty good shot, not perfect, but not bad. There's all my data, and here we're going with impact. You can see nice, clean contact. Lowest point was after the ball, and it's flying off there.
You can't just say you are when you're really not. You need to be responsible for yourself. But you need to put in the work. You can't just say you are when you're really not. You need to be responsible for yourself. So, can a launch monitor help you break 90 or 100? Not by fixing your swing, unless you get the Rapsodo or a camera unit, but by showing you the truth about your game. Now, obviously, I have the Rapsodo. There's all different brands out there. They're all good. I love this one because of what it's done for me with the cameras, with the radar. Drop your average score down in the comments and tell me what you struggle with most. I'll help you figure out exactly what's holding you back. I know how frustrating it can be to try to get better in golf. If you've been struggling with plateaus in golf and feel like your score just won't break through, I understand. I struggled with this for a long time, breaking 100, then 90, and now I want to get consistently below 80 on my goal to becoming a scratch golfer. If you have similar goals, check out the video popping up over here. It's a few ways I've found to help lower scores, and they can help you too. My goal is to post things that I wish I knew when I started golf in 2004 and to help 1,000 golfers in 2026 while I do it. And don't forget to subscribe so you see the rest of our videos and become part of the Golf Reboot family so that together we can play better, have more fun, and love the game again. See you next time.